Welcome to another deep dive. Today we're going to be talking about courting darkness, and
Ooh.
it's going to be exciting. I'm really fascinated by this world that Robin Lafevers created.
Yeah.
So courting darkness is set in 15th century Brittany.
Okay.
And this is a Brittany that's on the brink of war with France.
Right.
And if that wasn't enough to make things interesting, the god of death,
Oh, wow.
Mortain, has just died. Talk about setting the stage for drama.
Yeah.
And we're diving deep into this world through excerpts from the novel itself.
Okay.
It's like we're getting a behind-the-scenes look at all the action.
I like that. It's not just a historical setting, though. It's very much like intertwined with the characters' lives.
Right.
The daughters of Mortain, for example.
Oh, yeah.
Their fate is like tied to this.
It's not every day you meet assassins trained in a hidden convent.
Right.
Sibella and Aneth. These women are like forces of nature.
I know.
Sibella with her dagger skills and this ability to like ease the passing of souls. And Aneth, the expert archer who used God-forged arrows to hold back the French invasion.
Wow. God-forged arrows.
Right. I know. That detail about the arrows really stood out to me, too.
Yeah.
Do you think those were like a one-time thing, or could there be more of those hidden away somewhere?
I know. It makes you wonder, like, how far Morton's influence, like, goes even in death.
Right.
Were those arrows like the last bit of his power?
Right.
Or is there like some lingering magic that the daughters can like tap into?
Oh, I'm sensing some foreshadowing here.
Mm.
But even with these extraordinary abilities, there's this underlying tension.
Yeah.
Especially with Sibella.
Mm.
She's grappling with her role as Morton's instrument of vengeance now that he's gone.
Right.
And she's feeling this new power within her that is exhilarating and terrifying.
Yeah.
What do you make of her hesitation to embrace it?
It's like a classic fantasy dilemma.
Yeah.
You know, how do you reconcile years of training and your ingrained beliefs with this evolving sense of self? It's like she's standing on the edge of change, but afraid to jump.
Okay, so let's shift gears a little bit and talk about the Breton court.
Okay.
This is like a viper's nest of political intrigue.
Totally.
You got Duchess Anne, who's caught between a rock and a hard place. She's agreed to marry the French king to try to secure peace.
Oh, right.
But at what cost?
Huge question mark.
Yeah, it's a question that hangs over every single decision she makes.
Definitely.
The Privy Council is split. Some see the marriage as a necessity.
Right.
Others view it as like surrender.
Yeah.
And then you have Gabriel Duval, who's the Duchess's half-brother.
Yeah.
This sort of brooding, protective figure who's like fiercely loyal to her.
Embodies the spirit of Brittany, I think.
Right. He's not going to back down.
No.
And just when you think it can't get any more complicated,
no.
we have Pierre, the treacherous noble, who betrays the Duchess, poisons Duval, and tries to kidnap Sibella's younger sisters.
Oh my gosh.
Talk about adding fuel to the fire.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, Pierre's actions like really highlight the fragility of the Duchess's position.
Yeah.
It makes you wonder who she can actually trust and how much she's willing to sacrifice.
Like a pressure cooker about to explode.
Totally.
And then we have Genevieve.
Oh, yeah.
She's this seemingly unassuming lady-in-waiting to the Countess of Angoulême.
Right.
But she's hiding a big secret.
What's that?
She's also a daughter of Mortain.
Oh, wow. That's a twist.
It's fascinating how Lafevers introduces her, almost as like a counterpoint to Sibella and Aneth.
Right.
You know, instead of brute force, she's trained in politics and subterfuge.
Yeah, like a spy.
She's like a weapon honed for a different kind of battle.
Yes.
But like, Sibella Genevieve is struggling with her own internal conflicts.
Oh, yeah.
She wants to be called into action by the convent, but she feels overlooked and frustrated.
Oh, I see.
Do you think her loyalty to the Duchess stems from like a desire for the maternal figures she lacked in the convent?
It's possible.
Yeah.
I think Genevieve seeks that validation and that sense of belonging that maybe she hasn't found in the convent. Her relationship with the Duchess could be filling that void.
And then there's Murad.
Who's that?
He's the mysterious prisoner Genevieve encounters.
Okay.
Their connection seems to challenge everything she thought she knew,
Oh.
hinting at a deeper mystery that's about to unravel.
Ooh, exciting.
Yeah.
What do you think is the significance of their connection? It seems like Murad's presence is like a catalyst for Genevieve.
Okay.
He forces her to question her beliefs
Right.
and to face these desires she might have suppressed.
Yeah.
I think their meeting is going to be a turning point for her. It's going to push her onto this path of self-discovery.
It's like all these characters are pieces on a chessboard.
Oh, yeah.
And their moves are dictated by forces that are seen and unseen.
That's a good analogy.
And just when you think you've grasped the layout of the board, the game changes entirely.
As we delve deeper into courting darkness, remember, Duchess Anne is preparing for her journey to the French court, a journey that's full of uncertainty and danger.
Yeah, and she believes that this marriage is the key to securing peace for Brittany.
Right. But it's clear that there are forces working against her.
Yeah, working to sabotage her every step of the way.
Exactly.
And just as the Duchess is about to depart, Sabella receives a chilling message.
Oh, what is it?
A crow.
Yep.
A messenger from the convent arrives bearing a feather. A summons for one of Morton's daughters to report for duty.
Ooh, so this is where things get interesting.
Yeah.
Who does the crow deliver the feather to?
Well, that's the thing. It's not Sabella. The crow delivers the feather to Genevieve.
Oh, wow. So that sends her reeling right.
Yeah, she's been craving recognition from the convent, but it comes at a time when her loyalties are so divided.
Right. She's torn between her devotion to the Duchess, who's been like a mother to her,
Right,
and her sacred oath to the convent.
and it's made even more complicated by her growing feelings for Beast.
Oh, that's right. He's the Duchess's half-brother.
Yeah, he's fiercely protective of her.
And suspicious of anyone who might pose a threat.
Right.
It's a forbidden romance.
It is. Talk about high stakes.
Amidst all this political turmoil and deadly secrets.
Exactly.
So as the Duchess and her entourage, which includes Sabella and Genevieve, arrive at the French court, they're stepping into a whole new world.
A world where every word and gesture is calculated.
It's like a game of chess.
It is. And the French court is a viper's nest.
Totally.
The Duchess is subjected to all these subtle humiliations.
Oh, wow.
Orchestrated by the regent, Louise de Savoy.
It's psychological warfare.
It is.
It seems like she's trying to break the Duchess's spirit.
Yeah, before she even sets foot in the marriage bed.
Is it personal, or is it just political maneuvering?
That's a great question.
Yeah.
I think it's probably both.
Yeah.
You know, the regent is known for her ambition
Right.
and ruthlessness.
But I bet she also resents the Duchess.
Yeah, the Duchess represents a threat to her power. So while the Duchess is dealing with all of that, Sabella is using her unique skills to investigate the death of Captain Dunois.
Okay.
She suspects foul play, and she's determined to uncover the truth.
I bet that's a dangerous game.
It is.
Yeah.
She has to be so careful not to reveal anything.
Right.
Her ability to commune with the dead becomes crucial.
Oh, wow.
It helps her piece together what happened.
So while all that's happening, Genevieve is drawn deeper into the mystery surrounding Maraud, the prisoner she encountered back in Cognac.
Their connection really intensifies, and she begins to question everything she thought she knew about him and the convent.
It's like his true identity is slowly revealed layer by layer.
And speaking of the Duchess, her situation goes from bad to worse.
Oh, no. What happened?
The regent orchestrates this shocking display of disrespect during a public event.
Oh, my gosh.
And it's not just a social faux pas. It's a calculated move to humiliate her.
That's awful.
And undermine her authority.
So the Duchess realizes she's walked into a trap.
Yes.
And the price of freedom might be higher than she's willing to pay.
And then Sabella uncovers a shocking truth.
What's that?
Captain Dunois didn't die of natural causes. He was murdered.
Oh, my gosh.
This confirms Sabella's suspicions.
Wow, so there really was treachery within the court.
She has to decide who to trust and how far she's willing to go to expose the truth.
That's a tough position to be in.
Back in Cognac, Genevieve receives devastating news.
Oh, no. What is it?
The convent of St. Mortain has been disbanded.
Disbanded? By who?
By order of the king and the church.
Wow, this is huge.
It is. It's a blow that shatters Genevieve's world.
It's like losing her home and purpose.
Everything.
And then on top of that, she finds herself pursued by the Count of Angoulême.
Yeah, he's smitten with her and offers her a life of luxury.
But she doesn't want that, right?
No, she doesn't want to be his mistress.
Right.
Meanwhile, Sabella's investigation takes a dramatic turn.
Oh, really?
She uncovers evidence pointing to a shocking suspect in Dunois' murder.
Who is it? Don't keep me in suspense.
The regent herself.
Oh, wow.
This is a bombshell.
It is.
She now has knowledge that could threaten the regent's power.
So what does she do? Does she expose the truth?
And just as Sabella grapples with this dangerous truth, Genevieve uncovers a plot by the regent to falsely accuse the Duchess of adultery.
Oh my gosh.
It's a scheme that could destroy the Duchess's reputation, her marriage, and her claim to the throne.
So the regent is really upping the ante.
Yeah, she's ruthless.
And then remember that unsettling truth about Beast's parentage.
Oh, right.
Comes back into play.
Turns out his father, the man who betrayed his mother, is a key figure in the plot against the Duchess.
So Beast is personally connected to all of this.
Yeah, and it forces him to confront his past.
It seems like the stakes keep getting higher.
They do. And the web of intrigue grows more tangled with every passing moment.
Sibella's investigation, Genevieve's struggles, and the Duchess's precarious situation are all coming together.
They are. It's a tapestry of suspense that's impossible to ignore.
And throughout it all, Lafevers explores the complexities of power, loyalty, and morality.
It's a roller coaster ride of emotions and suspense.
It sounds like it.
Okay, so as we enter the final act of Courting Darkness, the tension is just unbearable. Duchess Anne is now fully aware of the regent's treachery, and she's trapped.
It's a nightmare. She's basically a prisoner in her own marriage, surrounded by enemies.
Yeah, and her supporters are scattered, trying to protect her from the shadows.
It's a tough spot to be in.
And Sibella now knows about all the regent's crimes and faces an impossible choice.
Right. Expose the truth, risk her own life, maybe even start a war.
Or find another way to protect the Duchess.
It's a real moral dilemma. Does she follow her duty to expose the truth and bring justice? Or does she protect the Duchess, even if it means compromising her principles?
Meanwhile, Genevieve is reeling from the convent's closure and the Count's advances, and she decides to take matters into her own hands.
Oh, really? What does she do?
She hatches a daring plan to free Murad from prison and escape the French court.
This is where all her training comes in handy.
Right. She becomes this master manipulator, using secrets and staying one step ahead.
So it's like a thrilling escape.
It is, full of twists and turns, and you're wondering if they'll actually make it out alive.
But escaping is just the first step, right?
Exactly. Genevieve and Murad are now on the run, hunted by both the French and the English.
Wait, the English? Why are they involved?
Well, it turns out they're looking for a lost heir to the English throne.
Okay, this is getting complicated.
And that's where the bombshell drops.
What happens?
Murad, the prisoner, Genevieve's risked everything to save, is actually Richard of Shrewsbury.
Wait, one of the princes in the tower. The ones that were believed to have been murdered.
The very same.
Oh, wow. So Genevieve's not only dealing with a fugitive, but a key figure in history.
It's a major plot twist. And Lafevers blends fact and fiction so seamlessly.
Yeah, you can't tell where one ends and the other begins.
And as they try to reach the coast, Genevieve and Murad face danger at every turn.
They really have to rely on each other.
Yeah, their bond deepens through it all.
It's fascinating how Lafevers created such a strong connection between two very different people.
Right. Back at the French court, Sibella makes a bold move.
Oh, what does she do?
She confronts the regent, exposes her crimes, threatens to reveal everything to the king.
Wow, she's really stepping into the light?
She is. And then that unsettling truth about Beast's parentage comes into play.
Right. His father betrayed his mother.
Well, it turns out that Beast's father is also a key figure in the plot against the Duchess.
So Beast has a personal stake in all this.
He does. It forces him to face his past in a way he never imagined.
That's got to be hard.
And in the climax, Sibella, with some unexpected allies, comes up with a plan to free the Duchess and expose the regent.
This is it, the final showdown.
It is Lafevers brings all the characters together in this tense moment that decides everything.
Not only their fates, but the future of Brittany.
Courting Darkness is one of those stories that stays with you.
Yeah, it makes you think about loyalty, betrayal, courage.
The power of the human spirit.
It's amazing how Lafevers takes these historical fiction tropes and turns them on their head.
Yeah, she gives us strong female characters.
Who aren't just victims, but take charge of their own destinies.
Exactly. And they were flawed.
They make mistakes.
But they're driven by justice, loyalty, and love.
And through their struggles, they show us that hope and courage can always prevail.
They do.
So as we wrap up this deep dive, think about the journeys of Sibella Genevieve and Duchess Anne.
How did their experiences change them? What choices did they make that resonated with you? And what can we learn from them about resilience, morality, and the strength of the human spirit?
Great questions for our listeners to ponder.
Thank you for joining us for this deep dive into Courting Darkness. It's a world of duty and desire, secrets, and women forging their own paths.
It sounds like an amazing read.
It is. Until our next deep dive, keep exploring and keep that spark of curiosity alive.